Hi, my name is Christian Avila and I'm going to demonstrate how to download and install Weka. First is, punta tayo sa Chrome. Search lang natin ang Weka. Then, punta tayo sa dito sa Weka 3, Data Mining with Open Source Machine Learning. And, pindutin lang natin tong download button. Ito siya. And, punta lang tayo sa ito. I-scroll lang natin siya pababa and makikita natin dito ang Windows. Pindutin lang natin to, pero kung iba naman ang gamit yung device, pwede kayong mamili dito ng iba kung ano yung device nyo. Kaya ang gamit natin ang Windows ay itong pindutin lang ito. Then wait natin siya ng 3 seconds. Yan, nag-install na siya and wait lang natin siya. Pwede rin kayong dumiretso na lang dito sa link na to. Click nyo lang tong link or copy nyo na lang para mapunta kayo sa pag-download. Then, ito na yung Weka. Pindutin lang natin yan. Then, click yes. Then, click next. And, ito yung agree lang natin yan. And, check yan. Click next. And, program files, mas prefer ko na huwag na lang palitan yan. Next lang. Then, install. Wait lang natin. Complete na, then click lang natin ang next, then finish. Then back natin, check natin siya. Siyempre wala siya. Search lang natin ang Weka. Ito siya. Run as administrator, then yes. Wait lang natin. Then ito na siya. Pwede na kayo explore. Demonstrate you how to import data in Weka. First is open natin Weka, which is ito, naka-open na. Then punta tayo, pindutin lang natin ang Explorer. And dito siya ma-open. Then click lang natin tong open file. So ang kukunin nating file is yung dati ng dataset ng Weka na dinownload natin. So punta lang tayo dito sa Acer program files, then pindutin lang natin tong Weka natin, then pindutin natin tong data. Makikita natin data dito. Ito lahat yung pwede natin gamitin. So ang napili ko naman is tong weather.nominal. Then open lang natin. So ayan na ang data na na-import natin.
For the third part of the demonstration, or build a classifier and visualization part. Before building a classifier, I need to import a dataset into Weka. Open file. Under the preprocess tab, click the open file. Then select a built-in datasets for Weka. Iris, then okay. After importing the data, Weka automatically reads the attributes and instances and identifies the class labels. At this point, the data is successfully loaded and ready to be used for machine learning. For the first part, building the classifier. Click the classifier tab. Classifier is a machine learning model that learns patterns from data and uses those patterns to predict a category or class. And to load a data, click Choose. Under Trees, you select J48. J48 is a decision tree algorithm. It works by asking a sequence of questions about the data, such as is this value greater than or less than a certain number, until it reaches a decision. In short, it if-else logic, but learned automatically from data. Then under the test options, select the cross-validation, then as is. Then click Start. After running, it shows the correctly classified instances, which is the percentage of predictions the model got right, and the incorrectly classified instances, which predicts the model got wrong. Then the confusion matrix shows how many instances were correctly or incorrectly classified per class. These results will tell us how effective the classifier is when using the imported dataset. Next is the visualization of data or visualizing the data. Then select any plot. Under the Visualize tab, select any plot. You can change the x-axis and the y-axis attributes. Then you can observe the color differences or patterns. And each dot represents one data instance. Example, for this dot, the color shows its class label. Then the clusters indicate similar data points. This part. Then overlapping colors mean classes are harder to separate. Like this one. To summarize the demonstration, I imported a dataset into Weka, which allowed the system to read the attributes and class labels. Then I used the dataset to train a decision tree classifier using cross-validation, and finally I visualized the data to better understand the pattern and class separations that influence the classifier's performances.
To demonstrate you how to download and install R. First one is go to Chrome or browser, search Cran download R. Click and click lang natin tong R for Windows. Then download R for Windows, click lang ulit natin yan. Then mag-start yung pag-download nyo. Next is punta tayo ng next tab para search naman natin ng RStudio. Search lang natin yan, then punta tayo to sa opposite nakalagay. Click lang natin yan, then scroll down and to RStudio. Then mag-start ng download yan, then unahin muna natin to R. Install natin yan. Then click yes. Then may mini tayo na language natin, English syempre. Next. Then basahin, scroll down para mabasa natin lahat. Then next. And ito naman is mas prefer na huwag na natin muna galawin to kasi yan na muna. Pero kung need mo naman palitan yan kasi iba yung ano ng device mo, okay lang. Pero mas prefer pa rin yan. Then next lang natin. And check lahat. Next. Then okay, next lang din natin. And mamimili ka kung anong prefer mo, parang create shortcut desktop, parang meron agad sa desktop. Then next lang. Then wait natin for pag-install. Hintayin lang natin. Then click finish. And punta naman tayo sa isa. Eto RStudio naman. Punta lang tayo dito and run as administrator. And then click yes. Wait lang natin. And ito na. Click next lang natin. Then same lang. In destination yan, next. And wait lang natin. Finish. Then click na lang natin tong finish. Then back na natin to. And search lang natin dito yung RStudio. And wait lang natin. Okay din.
Okay, so for the final part of our video presentation, I will be explaining the environment R. So to start this segment, let's open the RStudio, which will be the environment that we will be using to use the R language. Okay, so in starting the RStudio, this is the initial environment that we will be seeing. This is the console, this is the terminal, and this is the background jobs. So for the console, and the difference of the console and the terminal, I will be explaining it later on. So for now, and here we have the environment for which will for which were the values of our scripts will be shown. And here we have the files. This part of the environment, we have the files, the plots, packages, help, viewer, and presentation. So for the files, this is where we can open some files. And let's find our file for this video. Okay, so here we have data sets for R, and here we can open new file. We can create a new R script, and if we're gonna open, we're gonna click that. We can rename it presentation, and we can, when we click OK, this is what we'll be seeing after. So the difference of this new file and creating new file in this part as well is that when you create a new file from this part of the RStudio, it will automatically save on that particular path, file path. So here, when we created this presentation R, it automatically saved on this folder datasets for R, wherein if we create a new file or R script from this button, we it will just create a new file, and we would have to save it. We would have to save it manually right after we created a code. Like if we number two, let's create a simple code here. And if we're gonna save this, we will have to save it manually, just like this one. So let's save it here and create a file name for this, and let's say presentation 2, and save, and we're gonna see the presentation 2 here. It shows here. Okay, so that's the difference of using two types these two types of button to create a new file. Okay, so here we have, in this section of the RStudio, we have these simple ribbon tabs that we can use for our RStudio. And now here we have the console here and the terminal. The difference of these two is that from console you can run some code here. Okay, so let's say, oh, we used the wrong, oops, we used the wrong syntax there, right there. Okay, so if we are going to run this, to run a code in RStudio, we would have to highlight it and click run, this one, or we can also use Control plus Enter to run a code. To simulate another code, we create null var 2, and let's highlight it as well, and let's click Control and Enter, and we can see on the console our code is showing. Okay, so if we're gonna run a code, we can also run a code here in our console. So let's say we want to multiply our variable var2 times 2. It will show on the console. However, if we're gonna, let's say for example, we're gonna let's click save. Let's save this file, and we're gonna exit it, and let's open it again. The code that we use to multiply this variable is not shown because the code that we use was run on the console. So this code is not saved in this file. So that is the difference of coding from a script and coding from a console. And for this one, for opening a dataset, we can directly open a dataset in RStudio. Let's say let's import a dataset, and let's import this. However, before I got to read this dataset, I had to download a lot of library in order for the RStudio to read the CSV file. So here we can see the datasets that we have. We can view it, and then we have a code example here as well. To simulate the R language, because the R language is a type of programming language that is used for datasets in analytics. So this is a simple example of using the programming language R. So from what I discussed earlier, we will highlight the line of codes that we want to run. Let's click run, and since I have already installed it, this is what I will be getting from the console. Yeah, so this is what I got. And then if we're gonna run this, we have to highlight it again and click run. And then let's run this code. Empty cars is a data frame. It is a data frame. It's an example of data frame. And empty cars is already from the base data sets of RStudio. I didn't download this or anything. It's just an example from the RStudio to um, simulate instructions. So there you go. This is the data frame that we have. And I think that is all. And here we can also see the history from this workspace, from this current session of the workspace. So we can view the history. Um, Although this history will reset when we close the RStudio, and when we open it again, this history will not show. And connection tutorial. We can also find some tutorials here. If we're gonna click this, we can we will see the tutorials that the RStudio is offering. Okay. So that is the basic environment of the RStudio. Thank you for listening, and advance happy holidays. Thank you.